I always wonder when I go out if I'm going to run into my assailant.
An assault survivor feels vulnerable and slighted by the justice system after confusion over statutes of limitations and a change in state law left the case unprosecuted.
As part of her series following the imprints of crime in our communities, KXAN's Brianna Hollis walks us through the complexity of this survivor's story.
How did that make you feel?
Horrible. I was completely devastated.
The person sharing this with us identifies as transgender. We'll call them Morgan. And we're concealing their identity due to the sensitive nature of the story.
As a marginalized person, I don't get a lot of justice in this world, and I feel like this was kind of the one shot at it.
That one shot was a chance at justice after Morgan says a stagehand groped them while working an event downtown.
By the time they processed my paperwork, the statute of limitations had already expired. So despite having a literally written confession from my assailant, which should have made this a slam dunk conviction, he was able to walk free.
We have to start at the beginning to understand how he got here. The alleged assault happened on November 18th, 2018. Morgan didn't report it until 2020. Delays that are common for survivors of these kinds of offenses. In early November of 2020, Morgan told the detective they were worried about missing the statute of limitations, which would expire on the 18th, 2 years after the assault.
I asked about that because we were coming up on the deadline, although there was still some room.
On November 9th, the detective responded, quote, "As far as statute of limitations, you're fine. It was reported before it would have been too late." But that wasn't the case. This was the final letter Morgan got from the city attorney's office about the report, stating the case was, quote, outside the statute of limitations.
I wanted to get justice so badly.
When I first started looking into this, I thought that was the whole story. But as I dug further and got a better understanding of what happened, I learned a change in state law contributed to the confusion in Morgan's case.
It was crushing.
Police identified Morgan's case as an indecent assault offense. It's a charge for forcible groping. But that charge didn't actually exist until 2019. Morgan's attack happened in 2018 when forcible groping was still a Class C misdemeanor, the least serious type of misdemeanor, which carries a punishment similar to a traffic ticket, not an arrest. Morgan reported the crime to police within the statute of limitations, which, for a case classified as a Class B misdemeanor or above, would have met the criteria. But for Class C misdemeanors, you need to file the report with the city attorney's office. Municipal courts handle these offenses in Texas, not police. APD says Morgan's detective, quote, diligently worked the case, and once he found out the department couldn't take it on, he told Morgan to file the complaint in municipal court, but Morgan said all of that back and forth caused further delay.
And it just slowed things down.
They missed the deadline by 2 days.
Part of the problem is the lack of seriousness that the offense received.
State Representative Joe Moody spearheaded the law change that made forcible groping a more serious offense.
The punishment didn't fit the crime.
Before the indecent assault charge went into effect and groping was still a municipal offense, offenders could clear their cases by clicking a tab on the city's website that says, "Pay your criminal or civil citation here."
It is an arrestable offense from the get-go.
We tried to look into the impact the law made once it went into effect. We found in the first 4 years, 512 people reported indecent assault to Austin police. But the before numbers aren't quite as trackable. How can we measure the success of this?
Yeah, I think that it becomes pretty difficult to do because the data itself in Class C ticket world, where this used to be, is completely disaggregated around the state. So it's hard to tell what those numbers look like prior to the law changing.
What we do know in Morgan's case is this. If the law had already been in effect when they were assaulted, they would have met the statute of limitations because they did report it to police in time. Morgan said they would have filed with municipal court sooner had they known earlier on that's what they needed to do.
And unfortunately, that situation is probably not that rare.
So Morgan says, in the end, this is all they have to show for their report. A letter from the city attorney's office saying they missed the statute of limitations and, quote, no complaint will be filed in the municipal court. A reminder to Morgan that 2 days stood in the way of their chance at justice.
If there was like an actual conviction I could point to, it would just be one more layer of protection.
Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
And Crime Imprints is a series meant to go beyond police lights and crime scene tape. Brianna Hollis launched this in-depth approach earlier this year. It's dedicated to taking a community-centered look at crime coverage and also addressing causes of crime and exploring some solutions, living out KXAN's promise of delivering insight on community issues. You can find some of her previous reports at KXAN.com.